Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer and my friends call me Miss DeWalt. In this video, I'll be unboxing, assembling, and showing you the key features of the DeWalt planer stand model number DW7350. First, I'm going to open the package and show you the contents, show you the assembly, and then tell you all of the key features. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of lay everything out. Here's the instructions and this no step. Trust me, I won't. The tools you're going to need for assembly are a 13mm socket, which I happen to have right here, a 13mm open wrench. There's the one I need. And then a cross head screwdriver. So I'm just gonna have a Phillips bit on my drill. All of the fastening hardware is in separate little baggies, and they've made it easy by saying what it's for, like planer to stand, it's clearly marked what is inside and what its intended purpose is. So the first part is to assemble the frame and attach the wheel. Find the baggie that says base. So it'll go like that. Okay, this is what we want to end up with. Next, look for the two pieces that look like this. You're going to attach the two wheel brackets, which this is part E, to the frame using two carriage bolts, two lock washers, and two nuts. So you'll want to look for that. This is really important to note. This wheel bracket, when you go to mount these carriage bolts, leave this one loose, leave the outside one off, because when the leg comes down here, that carriage bolt is going to need to attach the leg as well. So next, take the 60mm bolt and attach this wheel. I'm gonna leave everything just a little bit loose until all of the pieces are attached, and then I will tighten it down. The 60mm head screw was from the wheels and caster bag. After that bolt is slipped through, these just have nuts. They don't have a washer. And I'm just going to hand tighten this for the time being. Now on the opposite side from these wheels, you'll want to find this baggie, and it has the rubber leveling feet, and they go on this side. These rubber leveling feet have two nuts with them. Attach one on, then stick the bolt through. Then attach your washer and then the other nut. And then that way, that bottom nut gives that support. Otherwise, it would just slide up. So there's your self-leveling feet. Next is the pivot wheel, and this is left up to your preference if you want to attach this on the inside or the outside of the assembly. For me, this is kind of a tripping hazard, so I think I'm going to assemble it on the inside. Look for this 60mm hex bolt bag again. Slide that on. I see. That's kind of nifty. Look for the 16mm bolts that are in the package mark stand, and you're going to want to put the part that has, see how the top of this has more holes? You're going to want to put the ones on the inside that have just the 2 holes. And that's why this needed to be left loose, because this carriage bolt is actually going to attach and go through both. Okay, at this point, you can tighten everything up. This is just a note of personal preference. The way they show this being assembled is with the bolt coming up through so that the nuts are actually showing on the top. I personally like the head of the bolt showing. So if you'll notice later on in the video, I went back and I redid these. The only place that it really matters would be for the rubber feet. You can't obviously have the feet on top. So that is the only place, but I went ahead and changed it. I just think that's a cleaner look, but it doesn't make any difference, I wouldn't imagine, to the assembly. It's just, I didn't like that the bolts were coming up at different heights. And I just, like I said, I would rather see that nice finished head of the bolt rather than the nuts. So that is just a hint. Okay, next you're gonna attach the sides. You'll notice there are the longer ones that say DeWalt, and then and then you have the shorter ones. These are the ones we're gonna work with next. We're still working with these carriage bolts. You're gonna look for this. Here's a helpful hint. When you're attaching the sides, it's a good idea to have 2 carriage bolts ready. They come all put together. I would take those washers and nuts off and be able to insert 2, otherwise you've got gravity kind of messing with you. Also, another hint, I've noticed this paint could possibly scratch if you aren't careful with the tools, so that's just one word of caution. There is a defined square at the underside of the head, so when you're putting that into the middle of the stand, you'll want to make sure that it goes into these corresponding squares so that it seats neatly in there. Next, attach the long sides, and you might want to pick which way. I don't know that it really matters much, but you might want to pick which way you want to be the front, because one side has the DeWalt logo and the other one is plain. Again, I think it's handy when you're working with these sides to get 2 of these bolts ready. You can work with gravity rather than having this float in midair. This long side does overlap at the top of the short side. Make sure when you are attaching these, because they are overlapping, you might have to kind of push these legs in so that you can see straight through these holes. Okay, we're coming down the home stretch. Grab the side supports, and they are gonna go like this on the shorter sides. Make sure that this L is giving you a ledge on the top so that you can attach that shelf. And I have 2 carriage bolts down there ready to slide in there so that one side isn't flying all over. Okay, now it's time to attach the MDF top. Make sure the DeWalt logo is up and look for this baggie. It says table to stand. It's pretty self-explanatory. It has 4 Phillips head type bolts. I like that this is marked on here and it says what model number you would use those holes for. The last thing is the support shelf, and the directions say to make sure that you put it lip down. Attach with the last 4 carriage bolts, and it looks like they gave exactly the amount that you're going to need. I often wish they would put like 1 extra in there in case some of the nuts don't want to thread, or you accidentally drop one down like a manhole or something. But this is the last part. At this point, you might want to adjust the leveling feet. And then when you want to move it, you just push on this, scooch it around where you want, and release. Okay, and the last bag you're going to need is the one marked planer to stand. And you're just going to line up the holes. It does tell you which holes to line up to depending on your model. Mine is 734, so I would want to find, it's marked 734, so I want to make sure that I line up with those holes, and I'm going to tighten up by hand and then go back and make sure everything is really secure. So this is where the directions are a little lacking. I'm just going to put the assembly exactly like this. I'm going to slip this bolt through. I think that these washers are just to take up room, but it really isn't clear. The diagram isn't clear and it's open to interpretation. So I think it's supposed to go underneath the table exactly like this, and that's what I'm going to do. Now that it's all set up, here's what the good people at DeWalt have to say about it. This planer stand is durable and stable even under heavy loads. There are pre-drilled holes like we saw, so setting up your DeWalt thickness planer is quick and easy, and hopefully easier after watching my video. You can use this tool stand with any benchtop power tool. The DW7350 planer stand is backed by a DeWalt 90-day money-back guarantee, 1-year free service contract, and 3-year limited warranty. It measures approximately from the ground to the top of the table is 30 inches. Along the base, it is about 27.5 inches. On the shorter side on the base, it is about 21.5 inches. From the ground to the top of that shelf is about a foot, and then above it, from the lip of this that sticks out though to the top of that shelf, I'm gonna estimate that's probably around 10.5, 11 inches. The stand weighs a little over 50 pounds, but can support up to 300 pounds. The MDF top can be modified to fit other brands of planers. Now, it sells for about $150, and I'll include affiliate links in the description of this video. If there's anything you'd like to know that I didn't cover, please leave it for me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to see future videos. Please also look me up. I'm on TikTok and Instagram as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.